Making oobleck. I made primary colors and froze some. Start by adding your cornstarch and water. Food dye is the easiest to mix in when it's either added to the water or right before you mix it together. And if it's too watery, you can always add more cornstarch. And then just mix it up some more. And then you can quickly play with it. I mean, check consistency before your kids notice and want to take it away. And then I poured it into ice cube trays to freeze and change up the play. I then bagged up the frozen ice cubes and went on to make another color with the same ice cube trays. With Ada, I started by dumping the cornstarch in, just to keep it better contained, and then I portioned out a small amount of water for her to add. Then I quickly added the food dye and let her mix it all together, and because I gave her less water than we needed, I was able to give her a little bit more, and then noticed it was a little bit too watery, so I added some more cornstarch. And then she mixed it all together and played with it until we were ready to pour it into the ice cube trays. I then tilted and tapped the ice cube trays to get any of the bubbles out, though that's not really required. It was more to get the even ice cubes. And if making smaller batches, you can always portion it into smaller containers, mix it up with the food dye then, which could cause a cool marbling effect, and then add it to the ice cube trays. Here I included white as it's simpler to make and it can lighten up any of the hues we wanted to create. Playing and mixing. I put the frozen oobleck cubes in a plastic bin to contain the mess a little bit more. The oobleck doesn't easily mix, which means that you actually have to work it together if you want to make a new color. And it keeps the colors separated, unlike Play-Doh or something else where the colors can quickly get muddied. And it was an overall blast to play with. It's cool how the marbling happens with each color you add to the oobleck, and if you really work it all together, you can get some really cool shades happening. I love how this is a fun sensory experiment, or if you add enough colors, it's a fun color mixing science experiment. And then freeze again for later fun. I threw all the leftover oobleck into a plastic container and tossed it in the freezer for later on. And then when we made oobleck later and it didn't all fit in the ice cube tray, I just threw it on top and threw it back in the freezer. And then you can add water for cleanup and for added fun if you're not ready to go inside yet. And if you're inside and you don't want to make a watery mess, you can always let it dry and sweep it up later. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day.